could stack, it slows the game to an absolute halt as soon as that happens. Any momentum that Diddy Kong had, gone. You now are just on the back foot, like, all right, I gotta get rid of this revenge. Now neutral is in his favor. Ugh, get away from me. Oh, there it is. Immediately.
This one like that. Only a pop gun, but looking for the lariat out of that combo, not able to find it and doing enough damage to remove the revenge entirely. I almost really like that from Haze, just like a complete get out of jail free and then turning it into a opportunity of its own. 76 and KGP forced to try multiple different recovery routes. Finally, the third one getting through.
Yeah, forcing his way on through on that one. Earlier I just saw KGP take an extra 50%, but the classic. You go for the counter, and you get the timing right, but the other person accidentally just whiffs the move entirely, and just on reaction, oh, wait, you countered? Oh, let me just extend my advantage state. Stuff like that is a little bit irking, but it really has been just been putting KGP on the back foot, but the lariat is going to find its mark at this time. Or the Alolan Whip, excuse me. Yeah, the Alolan Whip. Yeah, Lariat's the neutral beat. There we go.
Neither of which is an actual lariat, but hey.
No, like actually Alolan Whip is a lariat.
Oh yeah, it is, right?
That's why I said lariat.
Oh like, my god, whatever.
Oh, rough translations aside.
Yeah, we're here thriving for this first stock if you're Haze, and yet another Darkest Lariat coming out from KGP. Like just almost really prepping so many of these combo breakers, despite Haze prepping a lot more around Banana as his utility. There's finally a Darkest Lariat landing in that sweet spot. Oh, yeah, that's tough with the banana peel from off stage. KGP stuck between a rock and a hard place when it bounced off his shield.
Yeah, all I'm seeing Haze doing is that he's just staying outside of KGP's range well enough, and then he finally gets the hit, and he's putting KGP in the air. And that's where Incineroar really struggles, because he is one of the slowest characters in the game. He has no movement speed, so if you kind of control like a pillar of range, he's got to come down eventually. Sometimes he's just going to get hit because you know where he's going to land. Gonna expertly dodge out of that banana. Unfortunately, the down tilt, up tilt?
Yeah,
Ew.
If you wait long enough, Incineroar down tilt's insane.
It's so good.
The fact that it can combo into basically anything, and at 176, like, what doesn't close the stock there?
It's Incineroar. You can accidentally sneeze on it.
Cool. I like some of these empty landings, though, trying to trade with that neutral, and finally a grab from KGP, deciding to cover for DI out instead of going for the up airs, but these frame traps are just where Incineroar makes so much of this money.
Oh, no resources, but the upbeat back to center stage. Diddy Kong does such a good job at that, just reestablishing center stage and resetting that F tilt. Yeah. Goodbye, my friend.
That's way too far hard to make it back. No jump, no dreams of coming back to ledge there, and now you're in the Diddy Kong blender. Too slow to chase that down as well. But there was a potential punish there. You can see a little bit of times where Haze wants to pull banana, and it's just a matter of can KGP get into the range to punish it in time. Unable to there with the dash attack.
So what I'm seeing from Haze right now is that I see a lot of piloting, right?
Right.
He's kind of established the neutral to where KGP is chasing him all the time. He's just staying in a range where KGP's like, all right, maybe I can hit him now. But this is looking like a dire situation. As soon as Haze gets his hands on you or you overextend, even by just a little bit, he'll put you in the worst positions. And right now, KGP has to find these hits, or else this 118% is not going to amount to much, because for that rage to work out, you need to be on third stock. And here it is. You are on the same stock with a heavy. This game is even.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of combos that can convert into really cheesy stocks if you're Incineroar, but you gotta be careful with these ledge hang. The upper, with, the high recovery with the cross chop is not going to make it. And KGP, despite absolutely having a fighting chance there, but it shows how hard it is to play around Diddy Kong when you don't have speed on your side, even a little bit, like just like a small level of burst range. That while maybe you're not always catching monkey flips around, just the ability to threaten and say, hey, I can get into your comfort zone when you're trying to pull banana.
Wait, real talk though. Why did he enter his pronouns in start.gg as by my brownies?
I didn't even notice. Oh my god.
Well, how long has that been there?
I wanna. That's based.
Yeah, you can't fault him for it.
No, that's some marketing. Right there.
It's marketing. It's twitch.tv/KGParks. Anyways,
we're doing a job for
all right, I like this pick. Actually, I don't know. This is Diddy on FD.
Yeah,
but I like the pick.
Hold on.
I like this pick in the sense that, like I said earlier, KGP is being piloted around the stage by Haze just because it's so tempting to try to just hit Diddy, because it's like, maybe this time I can catch him slipping. But that's what Haze is kind of depending on. And if you give Haze less room to move around, that more so gives you an opportunity to catch him on these movement options. However, this is still Diddy on FD, which means that Banana's going to control so much space. There's going to be so much less room to try to get around Monkey Flip, Banana, or even many of his burst options. This character just burst ranges for free.
Yeah, I will say that sometimes Haze's play style can be a little bit of the antithesis to FD, as we see another Olo and Lip catch the sweet spot. Like, Haze likes to play around Monkey Flip and the edge cancels or the utility that can come with it, reverse stage. So, while yes, he'll still be hard to catch, obviously, like, you know, Diddy and Incineroar, like, what you gonna do?
Yeah. You just gotta eat that.
It is going to be a little bit more problematic because you don't have those mix-ups that Haze loves to utilize. So instead, you're just playing raw, face-up, heads-up, neutral.
What a snag.
Very nice stuff.
I'm gonna be Brian around here.
Yeah. Doing the math in his head, or just catching and reacting.
It just zooms in. The trigonometry is just going into his eyes.
And then
right
we got
there.
it. Looking for the up air there. KGP not going to find it. Looking for a lingering nair as well. I really like some of these edge guarding routes, but even better recoveries from Haze.
Very interesting. The up throw definitely is a good move, but Valeria almost not taking it. However, Haze just barely brushing the blast zone, and that's gonna do it. And now you got to start putting in work on this stock. But you know Diddy Kong, you know Haze, he knows his routes, he knows what he's gonna do. The pressure is setting in.
The damage will be aplenty and then some. But I need to watch. I feel like I need to watch KGP be a little bit less antsy upon getting hit. Like on hit, every time KGP has been like, throw out an aerial, throw out a lariat, throw out a cross shot. Like answer with a hitbox.
Right.
And these hitboxes, while good for the most part, they're all very, very telegraphed. And Haze is just waiting, baiting, and setting up situations like this. One more time, and maybe a fourth one for Grandma.
Oh, but he did it with his feet this time, so it's different.
There you go. A little bit extra spice, if you can call it that.
And there's always, like you mentioned earlier, I love what you're talking about when it comes down to like timings, because I remember this quip. I think it was by Mars. He said that if that was it. KGP, this is when you have to make this character shine like that. But when it comes down to it, like I was saying earlier, that you would much rather pick the same option at completely different times rather than pick different options at the same time. Because if you give an idea a player of your timing, they can kind of try to work around that. They can build a plan. They can make things black and white. But if you make things hazy, it's very difficult to actually counterplay. And I think that's what Haze is doing really well right now. He just doesn't. I just don't know what he's going to hit KGP with, and that's the beauty of Diddy Kong.
Yeah, you just have such an ambiguous neutral, and ambiguity is everything in a fighting game because you see that initial dash, you see that down tilt, and confirming into the up smash just like that. Excuse me, just like that. Haze taking a 2-0 over KGP. I feel like after game one looked like decent, right? Like you have...
It looked doable.
Yeah, like you have him on last stock. Like this is definitely like a winnable game in certain universes in different timelines. But I feel like I would have liked to see the Cloud one of the two games. Like I know Diddy does traditionally very well into swords, and the drop banana can be super hard. But Cloud is so good. You wall out so effectively. And a Cloud holding, like one of the biggest things about Diddy Kong is like how well can you play with banana? Cross slash is already half of your neutral. Like getting banana and like playing like cross slash, blade beam, climb hazard game. Like that sounds just good.
The character is literally just very good when it comes down to it. I also kind of wanted to see the Cloud because I could say, hey, Twink Spark at home, because it's a very interesting matchup when it comes down to it. It's a lot of neutral, it's a lot of footsies, and it's a lot of fast jointed moves. So when push comes to shove and an immovable object meets an immovable object or whatever, when it comes down to it.
More like an unstoppable force meets an unstoppable force. Yeah. It's definitely a interesting one. But KGP going with the Incineroar route to try and find a lot of those reversals, but when you play a reversal heavy game, you're subject to those exact footsies, and it's just like, hey, when am I gonna hit you? When am I gonna hit you? Oh, you don't know? That means I'm just gonna whiff punish as soon as you throw out one of these committal options, and the banana toss.